Hello everyone. In our last episode, we have discussed about the issues related to rights given in the Indian Constitution, and the topic was not completed yet. So let's get started from where we have left in our previous episode. Under the topic of the rights given in the Indian Constitution, we have mentioned different sorts of rights like statutory rights, constitutional rights, legal rights, fundamental rights, and so on and so forth. Finally, our utmost adherence was towards the fundamental rights given in Part 3 of the Constitution, and we have discussed that originally there used to be a total of 7 fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution, but in year 1978, via means of 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, a particular kind of fundamental right, namely the right to property, was eliminated from Part 3, and it was inserted in Part 12 of the Constitution in the form of Article 300A. Because under fundamental rights before 1978, the issues related to right to property was is specifically mentioned under Article 31 as well as under Article 19 Class 1 Subclass F. Okay, but these minuscule things we will discuss later on once we switch over upon the actual syllabi of civil services examination. Anyway, let's have a look upon the left out fundamental rights which are there under the Constitution. I mean to say the 6 fundamental rights which are present right now. They are basically the right to equality, the right to freedom, the right against exploitation, the right to religious freedom, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedy. So let's have a look upon all those fundamental rights. See, our topic is still the second chapter of 11th standard NCERT for political science, that is the Indian Constitution at work, and the second chapter of that NCERT is the rights, or rather rights in the Indian Constitution. Rights in the Indian Constitution. And see, under this segment we have shown our greatest impetus upon a particular kind of right, a particular set of rights which is oftenly referred to as the fundamental rights. So we have started discussing over the fundamental rights, and in our previous episode we got to know that the very concept of fundamental rights which we find under Indian Constitution, it was derived from the Constitution of the USA, that is the United States of America. Okay. The fundamental rights given under Indian Constitution is called as Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights in Indian Constitution. It is also referred to as the Charter of Indian Constitution. It is also referred to as the Magna Carta of Indian Constitution. Why such names are given to this particular topic on fundamental rights under Indian Constitution? The reason is simple, because the similar set of rights under the US Constitution is called the Bill of Rights. So, in accordance with the nomenclature provided to this particular set of individual rights under US Constitution, we have also started mentioning it like, yes, the topic on fundamental rights given under Indian Constitution is basically similar to the Bill of Rights which have been given under the US Constitution. So, if somebody asks you that which provision of Indian Constitution can be called as the Bill of Rights of Indian Constitution, your answer would be certainly fundamental rights given in Part 3 of the Constitution. If somebody asks you which part of Indian Constitution or what sorts of provisions given under Indian Constitution might be referred to as the Charter or Magna Carta of Indian Constitution? Again, your answers would be certainly the fundamental rights. The reason is simple. Similar set of individuals' rights under UK's constitution, that is the British Constitution, is called Charter or Magna Carta of British Constitution. So, following the line of Britain, we can also mention our fundamental rights as Charter or Magna Carta of Indian Constitution. Okay. So, such names like Bill of Rights, Charter, Magna Carta, etc., they are, related to fundamental rights only on the basis of their genesis states, that is US and UK. But it is obvious that the set of individual rights given in part 3 of Indian Constitution is basically called the fundamental rights only. Fundamental rights. These names are given only on the basis of their resemblance with the similar kind of individual rights related provisions given in US and UK's constitution, right? Okay. At present, there are altogether 6 fundamental rights. 6 fundamental rights. Formerly, there used to be 7. But one fundamental right, namely the fundamental right of property, it was eliminated from part 3. Because the topic on fundamental right is given in which part of constitution? Third part of constitution. Third part of constitution. Okay. And what's about the different articles via means of that the provisions related to fundamental rights have been given under the constitution? They are basically articles 12 to 35. Okay. And all the 6 kinds of fundamental rights you will find somewhere across these articles only. So, let us have a look upon the expansion of all these or dissemination of all these 6 fundamental rights via means of articles 12 to 35. Okay. Fundamental rights, their classification, see, it is given in part 3 and it is classified over articles 12 to 35. You should remember this point. Okay. See, once you go on to classify the fundamental rights given in part 3 via means of articles 12 to 35 in Indian Constitution, you can have the following categories or following classes. One is called the ordinary, or rather you can write the peripheral class of fundamental rights. You know what is meant by peripheral class of fundamental rights? They are those fundamental rights which simply demonstrates the outline of entire chapter on fundamental rights given in part 3, right? The peripheral class of fundamental rights. Later on we will discuss which provisions given in fundamental rights can be categorized as the peripheral class of fundamental rights. Second one is the main class of fundamental rights, right? Third one is the exceptions to the fundamental rights. Okay. And fourth one is implementing kind of fundamental rights. Okay. See, the entire provisions related to the individual rights given in the form of fundamental rights under Indian Constitution, they can be classified through four different heads. First head is all about the peripheral class of fundamental rights. Second head is all about the main class of fundamental rights. Third one is the exceptions to fundamental rights, or in other words, you can also name them as, the restricting kind of fundamental rights. Okay. The restricting kind of fundamental rights, but it would always be appropriate to refer them as the exceptional class of fundamental rights or exceptions to the fundamental rights. But in later moment you can also refer it like the restricting kind of fundamental rights, means those provisions which impose restrictions over your fundamental rights. Fourth one is implementing kind of fundamental rights. Now let's try to arrange all these articles, means article 12 to 35, across all these four different heads. First one is peripheral. Under peripheral class of fundamental rights, two provisions come in. One is article 12 and other is article 13. Okay. It is the main class of fundamental rights only which talk about the set of 6 individual rights assigned to you. So under main class of fundamental rights, we simply discuss about 6 different kinds of fundamental rights. They are 6 in number, and what are they? I am trying to show you here separately. One is the right to equality. Second kind of fundamental rights given under the main class is basically the right to freedom. Third one is the right against exploitation. Fourth one is the right to religious freedom. Fifth one is the cultural and educational rights. And sixth one is the right to constitutional remedy. The right to constitutional remedy. So these are the 6 fundamental rights which can be categorized under the main class of fundamental rights in part 3. Okay, means at this point of time, means at the stage of your NCERT level preparation, you need to know the names of all these 6 fundamental rights. If you wish to go on one stage further, you are also suggested to have a look upon the different sorts of articles related to all these different pieces of rights or different kinds of rights. For example, under part 3 of the Constitution of India, the right to equality finds its mention via means of articles 14 to 18. Means it is the class of article 14 to 18 which talks about the provisions related to the right to equality assigned to the individuals under the Constitution of India. Okay. So let me change the color of marker so that it can be made more distinct for you. The right to equality is given under articles 14 to 18. You can remember this. Second one is the right to freedom. The provisions related to the right to freedom have been mentioned via means of articles 19 to 22. Okay. See, here you are not required to be much specific. I mean to say, what is there under article 14, what is there under article 15, 16, 17 and so on. These sorts of things are not needed for this stage. Once you switch over upon the second stage, that is the main syllabus of civil services, then I will let you know about each and every provision given here in a very minuscule manner, very minute manner. But for the time being, whatever I am suggesting you, you should follow that seriously. Third one is the right against exploitation. This is given under articles 23 and 24. Okay. The right to religious freedom, it is given under articles 25 to 28. The concept of cultural and educational rights, it is given under articles 29 and 30, and the right to constitutional remedy finds its mention via means of article 32. Okay. So, don't you think, since here we are discussing about the fundamental rights disseminated across articles 12 to 35, but all the 6 kinds of fundamental rights which fall within the ambit of the main class of fundamental rights, okay, they are basically starting from article 14 and they end in article 32. And don't you think, what's about article 12, what's about article 13, what's about article 33 or 34, right? So have a look. It is article 12 and article 13 which are called as the peripheral class of fundamental rights. Article 12 makes us know about the fact that what is meant by the term like state. Means article 12 provides us the meaning of state. I will explain the dictation, or you can say interpretation of article 12 in our second stage of preparation. Again, article 3 talks about the provisions related to laws and their inconsistency. Provisions related to laws and their inconsistency, they are mentioned under article 13. Again, I will discuss it in our second stage of preparation, but for the time being, the only thing which is required for you to remember is simply article 12 makes us know about the concept of what is meant by state. Article 13 makes us know about what is meant by law and how a law shall be declared as a valid or invalid one after having a you can say an examination over its consistency. Means how to find out the consistent or inconsistent provision of a law, and accordingly what is needed to be done with a particular law. Means article 13 simply talks about laws and their inconsistency provisions. Okay. It might be seen as little bit tougher for you, but when we discuss about article 12 and 13 elaborately, you will easily get to know that what are the things related to article 12, what are the things related to article 13, how article 12 and article 13 are important for boosting your understanding over part 3 of the constitution, that is the fundamental rights. Okay. Means it is obvious that the peripheral class of fundamental rights which are mentioned under Article 12 and 13, they actually do not confer you any particular kind of fundamental right. Okay. If you come to know about a particular kind of fundamental right or rights, they are basically given under the main class of fundamental rights. Fine. Peripheral class of fundamental rights simply is case out, the entire domain of fundamental rights, the entire chapter of fundamental rights, means the entire chapter of fundamental rights is meant for what? This is what given under Article 12 and 13. When it comes to Article 12, it simply makes us know that yes, what is meant by state, and whatever the meaning you find for the term like state, that should be applicable throughout the chapter on fundamental rights. Okay. Again, whatever the meaning of law is there, and how to find out that whether a given law is constitutional or unconstitutional, all sorts of issues related to examination of law, they will be universally applicable in case of fundamental rights, means throughout the chapter of fundamental rights. So Article 12 and 13 simply talks about the entire chapter on fundamental rights. They do not talk about any distinct kind of fundamental right, rather they talk about the entire chapter, means entire part 3 of the Constitution. Okay. Under main class of fundamental rights, as I have already shown you through this whiteboard, there are altogether 6 fundamental rights at present. One is called the right to equality, which finds its mention via means of Articles 14 to 18. Second one is the right to freedom, given under Articles 19 to 22. Third one is the right against exploitation, given under Article 23 and 24. Fourth one is the right to religious freedom, given under Articles 25 to 28. And the cultural and educational rights, it is given under Articles 29 and 30. And finally, the right to constitutional remedy, which is given under Article 32. Okay. So you need to have your greater impetus upon this main class of fundamental rights only. Okay. Remaining classes of fundamental rights, you need not know about them. Once you switch over upon the second stage, you will easily get to know about the remaining classes as well. But for the time being, I suggest you just be focused upon the main class of fundamental rights, that is all the 6 kinds of fundamental rights. If somebody asks you how many fundamental rights are there under Indian Constitution, what would be your response? 6. There are 6 fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution. If somebody again raises another question to you that what are the names of all the 6 fundamental rights in a sequence, in a chronology, again you will say the names of all the 6 fundamental rights are basically the right to equality, the right to freedom, the right against exploitation, the right to religious freedom, cultural and educational rights, and the right to constitutional remedy. Third kind of question might also be asked to you that what are the constitutional provisions related to right against exploitation? Your response would be Article 23 and 24. An individual can also raise a question to you, what are the constitutional provisions related to the individual's right to religious freedom? Again your response would be Articles 25 to 28. Means such kinds of questions might be raised at this NCERT stage. Okay. Third one is the exceptions to fundamental rights. See, whatever the provisions we will be mentioning here under the ambit of the exceptions to fundamental rights, one thing you should make it clear that those provisions are not going to assign you any particular kind of rights, rather they are going to impose reasonable restrictions over these 6 kinds of fundamental rights falling within the ambit of the main class of fundamental rights. Means they are basically the restriction causing constitutional provisions. And these restriction causing constitutional provisions, they simply related to impose restriction over other provisions than the fundamental rights. Means they simply impose restrictions over the fundamental rights. Now the point is, which are these provisions which impose restrictions over the fundamental rights? See, the provision given under Article 31 capital A, remember 31 capital A. Second one is the provision given under Article 31 capital B. Third one is the provision given under Article 31 capital C. Next is the provision given under Article 33. Other one is the provision given under Article 34, and two more outsider provisions are taken into account here. They are basically Article 358 and Article 359. So remember, these are the exceptional class of fundamental rights. I will discuss about these exceptional class of fundamental rights later on, not at this stage. As I already told you that for NCERT stage, the only point you need to know is about the main class of fundamental rights. Fine. See, here I am just making the reference that these are also related to fundamental rights. Fourth class of fundamental rights is basically the implementing kind of fundamental rights or implementing class of fundamental rights, and it is given under Article 35. What is meant by the implementing kind of fundamental rights? See, as per the provision of Article 35 given in Part 3 of the Constitution, it is made clear that in order to implement one or more fundamental rights, if the Parliament of India seeks fit to, impose some sort of regulation by law, the Parliament is allowed to make a law. So Article 35 gives the power to the Parliament of India to make a law in order to regulate the fundamental rights. For example, suppose the fundamental right given in Article 17, that is related to untouchability provisions. Okay. See, Article 17 neither explains the concept of or meaning of untouchability nor prescribes any punitive measure for the violation of the same. So, here by using the provision of Article 35, the Parliament can make a law in order to checkmate the issues related to untouchability prevailing in our society. Okay. And accordingly, the Civil Rights Protection Act was passed by the Parliament of India. Anyway, the logic is simple. Article 35 empowers the Parliament, provides the power to the Parliament to regulate the implementation of a fundamental rights or fundamental right by law. By law means by making legislation, by passing an enactment. So this is all about, Part 3 of the Constitution, or the different classes of fundamental rights. Okay. So in this way, our second chapter of 11th standard NCERT, that is Indian Constitution at work, has been accomplished now. Now, from coming episode, we will have a shift upon the other chapters. The other chapters are like the issues related to election and representation, the issues related to legislative, executive and judiciary, okay, the issues related to federalism. So, in our coming episode, we will try to discuss all such things. Okay. So, thank you so much. All the best.